Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of The Modern Gamer. Today, with me, we have an amazing guest. But first of all, we need to decide how do we balance real life with our love to gaming. With us today is Dino Salazar. Welcome, Dino. Dino is a very old friend of mine. I think we know each other for almost 20 years, so quite a huge amount of time. Dino is, to my knowledge, a veteran World of Warcraft player, cutting-edge achievements all around, both PvP, PvE, an avid From Software enjoyer, so to speak. I don't know why he likes dying so many times, but we'll hear what he has to say. So please, welcome, Salazar.
Hey. How you doing, man?
Great. Very glad to have you here on this platform today with us. Thank you very much for giving us your time. So tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Dino, and then who is Salazar?
Well, Dino is a 35-year-old man from a small city in Bosnia. I mean, the capital of Bosnia, Sarajevo. I've been playing games, well, since I can remember. I got my first gaming console, so to speak, back during the wartime in Bosnia. My grandfather, he bought me somehow, I don't know even how, he got it, the Commodore 64. And that was basically my first introduction in the gaming world. I used to play it when, well, there was electricity and, when when we could actually do something. And since then, I kind of showed interest in electronics and everything based around the technology. I'm going to say a few words about myself. I'm a database developer engineer that's been working like full-time job since I was like 18. And since then, I was trying to kind of, as you said, find a balance between what I do and what I really like to do. I like to I do like technology science for a living, and I really like playing games like almost all my free time when I'm not spending with my beautiful wife. I'm like playing games and I'm looking at other people playing games. That would be basically it. And Salazar is my, so to speak, alter ego. Like half of the people that I know in the city basically know me by the name of Salazar. Like when somebody says, "Hey, it's Dino," they're like, "Who is Dino?" And when you said it's like Salazar, I'm like, yeah, I know him. We used to play the World of Warcraft, play the From Software games, play the Counter-Strike, and all other games together. That's basically it.
Amazing. So what does Salazar play nowadays?
At the moment, I'm like switching on and off from different action RPGs. Current one is the newest season of Path of Exile, Settlers of Kalgur. Like I'm kind of hooked on that, and I'm waiting for the newest expansion of World of Warcraft. As you said, like that's my main priority game, the game that I like played from 2004. Yeah, I'm sort of a Blizzard fanboy. I've been loving them, hating them since the beginning of the time. So that's kind of it. I'm waiting for the expansion. It should hit the shelves in like 20 days or so, and I can't wait to play that.
Wow, yeah, definitely. I mean, but from 2004, that's quite a huge amount of time. I mean, yeah, 20 years of Blizzard games, and you can definitely say they had their rise and fall. And I think now we can maybe say that they are rising back again. I've seen some choices they are making. They are quite good. But you said you do enjoy action RPGs. What is it about action RPGs that hooks you, that gives you the will to play? Because for me, I tend to lose it quite fast because it's always some meta builds that you can play, and I can just never find a build that I really enjoy. So what is it that hooks you? What do you search for action RPGs?
Well, that's the case in most of the games that I played. That min-maxing stuff that you can do in it. Well, my first action RPG was like most of the people was Diablo 2. I was too young to play Diablo 1. I can't even remember it. Maybe I played it sometime. But since then, I've been like trying on and off the different games that offer the customization and the approach that Diablo 2 had. The first game after Diablo 2 that caught my eye, it was a bit late than I like to admit. It was Path of Exile, the game that has such a depth and you can like you can like spend hours and hours just looking in your character and just trying to find that optimal one level node that you can click that will give you like multiple amounts of damage. That's something that keeps me hooked. Like nowadays, I spend most of the time looking in the spreadsheets and the different path of building the tool that allows you to customize your build, just trying to figure out what can I do next to increase the DPS. And I actually play the game. I mean, that's kind of weird, I know, but that's something that keeps me hooked in the game and just makes me go forward. And then there's of course that loot explosion when you get that ultra rare item that like nobody has gotten it. I mean, okay, people have gotten it, but when you get it and your just heart starts pumping, that's like something, it's a feeling that I can't really describe.
Yeah, that I can definitely get behind. I know like the latest action RPG that I was playing was Last Epoch. They have like two factions there. One is like more oriented to having like an in-game like auction house. The other one is like Circle of Fortune or something like that, where you like finish certain quests, and then if you finish the quest, it just explodes in a huge amount of loot that you get. And I do definitely feel the dopamine rush there that you just mentioned. So that one is definitely a great aspect of action RPGs. But you do say that you like the min-maxing. Are you like that also in other games? Do you always strive to min-max to give like the best output possible?
Well, if the game is interesting enough, I will commit to it. I will commit to it to get like that 1% more that I usually wouldn't in the other games. So I can compare it like with Diablo 4. Well, Diablo 4 is an excellent game, but it lacks that thing that makes me go that extra mile to min-max, because in Diablo 4, like the huge increments in player power that you're getting, just it's not interesting enough compared to, let's say, Path of Exile, where you like building it up slowly to that point where you feel enjoyable with the build that you play. In Diablo, you're either down or up in the sky. They know like that middle ground that you can feel that like you're progressing. You get an item, you just have a huge burst of power, and that's it. That's something that I dislike in these kind of games. I want to have like a sense of progression. That's going, because next time when I start playing it, I'll just hope for that one item that will give me that huge amount of power, and I'm going to be skipping the huge amount, the huge portion of the game that makes the game enjoyable for me.
Mm-hmm. But considering the obligations that we all have in real life, and you also said you have a wife, so what would you say is Path of Exile more time-friendly or more respective to your time, or is it Diablo? Because if I understood correctly, you said in Diablo you can kind of quickly get to the like ultra big damage numbers and everything, where in Path of Exile it's more of a journey. So which game is respecting your time more?
Diablo, definitely. There's no question
Diablo,
about
definitely.
it. Yeah.
So would you also say then that Diablo could be a good entry point for people who would like to try out action RPGs without having to commit endless amounts of times, min-maxing, like you just said, reading different spreadsheets and everything?
Yes, definitely, because the game is like grabs you by the hand as soon as you start it and just keeps doing that until you quit playing it. And that's extremely good for the new players, that just want to relax a bit, just kill some demons, blow off some steam after a long day. And that's the game that, well, I mostly play when I don't have enough time to commit myself to something else. When my obligations start
Understood.
like just piling on myself, that's when I play it the most, because you can just log in, do like 1 hour of a play session, just log out, and then won't happen everything. But where in Path of Exile, you can't really. I mean, you can play it like that, but you're gonna be You ain't gonna get far. Right, you need to grind a lot in order to get the results that you get in Diablo for like playing 1 hour a day.
There is one topic I would like to discuss about you, with you, which I think you would know much about, is what do you think about the narrative that gaming companies have nowadays, where you are kind of coerced into a FOMO thinking that you are like you have the fear of missing out? Where, for example, the thing I know is in Diablo, you have like a rotating shop which offers different costumes. You have battle passes. You have I think you have like daily login bonuses. But nonetheless, let's just exclude Diablo and talk about gaming in general. What do you think about this new narrative where if you don't play 1 or 2 days, you are kind of behind? what is your stand on this?
I dislike it. I disliked it when World of Warcraft implemented the daily quests. That was something that
Mm.
really went on my nerves. I mean, I really like having something to do when I play the game, but when you're forcing me to do that in order to stay competitive, especially you mentioned that I played the World of Warcraft competitively, and yes, I was in the cutting edge guilds, and I was like PvPing at the highest rating, and that was really more of a core than like playing the game. I didn't really find it enjoyable, but my strive to just to compete with people and be one of the best in the guild was something that pushed me forward. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it. The games, in my humble opinion, the game should be like something that you can go and just relax a bit, not being
Sure.
forced to play. So that's why I kinda strive to the From Software games recently, because they're like I can play them however I want, I can play them whenever I want, and I don't need guides to see what's good and what's not good. Because in especially if in Elden Ring, I'm gonna take it as an example, there is no wrong way to play, and that's why that game is so successful and so good. Whatever you do, you're gonna
True.
be. I mean, you're gonna have a harder time playing it, but it's not the wrong way to play. If you enjoyed playing it, then you can play it like that. Whereas in the
True.
multiplayer games online, you are always forced that, as you said, flavor of the month build. You always need to be online all the time to be competitive, and that's kind of something that really sucks out the fun for me. One of the reasons I stopped PvPing in World of Warcraft was exactly that. One day my class is good, tomorrow my class isn't good, and especially today I don't have enough time to level up a new class, learn it, and just so I could stay competitive. That's something that the company should really work on.
Yeah. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. There, especially, for example, you said you did PvP at the highest rating, you did cutting edge rating, but you did all of that in the past where you did not have so many obligations like you have now.
Yeah,
Of
that
course,
was
you have
all.
obligations as a husband,
Yeah,
then you also like your job, your friends, your private life overall. So you had more time then. But sadly, now you don't have so much time to play. But then, even if you have time to play, you are greeted with tons and tons of options to pay to progress, pay to play, pay for power. And just overall, it seems like who has the biggest wallet is going to have the most fun.
yeah. That's something that makes me really sad when you see today's game that offer you to buy the power. I tried it once. I ain't gonna lie. I tried it once. I think it was some kind of a mobile game where I bought something, some character or something. I can't even remember. I think it was Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I played
Hmm.
it like a couple of years ago, and bought a character, and it felt good at start, to stomp your opponents, to just destroy them like that. But I kind of felt empty, so to say, because I skipped the journey to it. That's
Yeah.
that's something that I value more than like instant gratification and just having it handed over if I because I paid. I mean, I
Yeah.
understand that companies need to earn money, they need to pay their workers and everything, the developers that create the games, but there are other ways to do it. There are really other ways to do it. And again, Path of Exile is a prime example of it. They have like tons of microtransactions that you can buy from, but nothing gives you power. You
Uh-huh.
cannot buy power with it. You need to grind it always, each and every season. You need to just grind it. Everything is just cosmetics, like some, for example, those stash tabs. I mean, yeah, you need to buy it in order to have it like quality of lives for it to be better. But it will never give you power, and that kind of business model I can respect. But everything that gives you instant power, for example, Diablo Immortal, I'm gonna take it again. It's just feels empty.
Yeah, it does. But then again, I think that games nowadays, like the newest game, they're not really made for people who are gamers at heart. The games and game studios have now become big businesses, big corporations with even bigger stakeholders behind who expect some sort of return of investment. And sadly, the world still revolves around money. And Diablo Immortal is a great mention because I think, if I'm not mistaken, they earned like 1.3 billion just because they released a patch with some items. Imagine that, man. I don't think World of Warcraft earned 1.3 billion in its lifespan. I
Yeah,
mean, it did, obviously, but that's like a huge number. Like in 1 month, you earn 1.3 billion.
yeah, yeah. Even though the game has like really bad reviews at all of the relevant sites, like people are complaining about the microtransactions, but they're like people that have big wallets and we can't do anything about it. So that's why the game at its core isn't really bad. I played it. I mean, I play it still on and off. Like I just log in and kill some demons when I'm not at my PC and I get some time. But those transactions are again killing it. But then again, they created it for a certain audience. They really didn't, as you said, they didn't target us really gamers at heart. They target like people that really want everything right now. They want everything to give being given away. And there was like the guy who spent like $150,000 on his character, and he was so overpowered that the game couldn't. They there wasn't a matchmaking for him. There weren't people that could play against him. He was so powerful that the game just couldn't find him a match to play, and he was like sad because nobody else spends that amount of money on it. There are like four houses. You can buy 4 houses in Bosnia for that kind of cash. I mean, who's going to spend it on that?
Yeah, that's just sad, honestly. Like 150,000. I mean, I do agree with the topic that it's your money, you can do with it whatever you want, but in all honesty speaking, you can really do much better things with that money and even more good to people, because 150K is just, I don't know. Some people don't earn that much money in their lifetime, sadly.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, but From Software games, what do you say is the biggest appeal? Okay, you did say you can play them however you want, but they are also famous for being extremely hard. What do you think about the narrative? I've seen it, like people are on forums, on Twitter, on X, are saying that From Software games should have an easy mode.
No, they shouldn't.
What do you think about it?
No, they shouldn't. Look, I as I said, I play game for like most of my life. I like the first games that I played, they didn't have a difficulty setting. I'm gonna take one game that always comes to my mind. It's Crash Bandicoot. It's on PlayStation 1. I played it like that. It has 3 sequels. That game is a platformer and it doesn't have a difficulty setting. It's difficult by itself. I played a remake when I got my PS4 back in 2018, and it was hard. I was surprised how hard the game was. But back when I was a kid and playing it, it didn't matter. I mean, I played with my friends, I played with my sister, I played with my cousins, with everything. It was just fun, just like that. So when the game started introducing the difficulties, that's when that narrative that you said that people are complaining, people got used on like story modes and that. I mean, okay, there are some games that really can benefit from it, but if you really want that to have that real good experience, I believe that games shouldn't have it. There should be one difficulty, optimized so everybody could play it, and that's it. Yeah, you need to.
True.
I'm for that you need to earn to see something in the game. That goes for the World of Warcraft raiding, for the World of Warcraft PvPing, for like playing the From Software games. And every game you should earn to see what's going on. Just because you paid the game 50, 60, 70 euros, it doesn't mean that you're entitled just to see it all. Play the game. That's what I'm saying. I kind of got in the arguments with the people on the forum. There's also a guy. So I'm jumping from the topic that sued From Software, and he's gonna take them to court in like 20 days because he says that there's a game hidden in Elden Ring that he cannot access because the game is too hard for him. That was his like narrative, and I was like, what kind of drugs are you using, man? It's a game. Come on, please try it. I saw that case today, and I was like really bummed. I thought it was a mistake. Somebody's like a sick joke, but it really wasn't. So we came to the point that we are so spoiled that we cannot differentiate what's good and what's bad in the gaming world. I mean, you have like millions of people saying that Elden Ring is an amazing game, and then there are a smart ass trying to sue the company because the game is too hard.
Yeah, which also boils down to the whole topic of the so-called snowflake mentality, I assume, where people would like to have everything without doing anything for it. Now, and this is maybe a hot take that I'm going to give. I'm thinking that if you bought the game, you should have full right to play the game fully. But one thing that I know is that the maker of Elden Ring, and not just Elden Ring, but like From Software main guy.
Miyazaki.
I think Miyazaki, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Miyazaki is, to my knowledge, a very, very bad gamer. But they use him to play test all of their games, saying that if he can beat it, so can anyone. That's how bad of a gamer he is. That's what I've read.
Yeah, he admitted it when the latest DLC came out for Elden Ring. He admitted that he's really bad and it took him like several hours to beat the first boss, not to mention when he came to the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's great. So, but then again, I'm not really opposed to having like an easy mode. And hear me out. I sort of look at easy mode as like an accessibility mode. Now, as gamers, we should strive to have as many people as we can to play the game so we can have a better community so that this game can sell better. And then hopefully we can have like sequels and sequels and sequels. And the same as I'm really a huge advocate on games having accessibility towards people who have a sort of impairment, like a handicap, they should be able to play. So help them to play it. And the same with easy mode. Just give them an easy mode, story mode, however you want to call it, which is going to boost these things. And they can see through the game. They can see the story, they can see like the world, because Elden Ring has like a beautiful world, honestly. And in my opinion, that is something that we should be doing and should be advocating. And that can only increase the bigger sales. But then again, we are talking about the snowflake mentality where people expect everything without even sweating at all. So that's like the fine balance of what is too hard. Because I've seen like, I think the streamer, Hey Senat, he did like 1,500 deaths before he killed the last boss. Then I saw a girl, she is also like a famous streamer. She beat the whole of Elden Ring while parallel playing on PlayStation and PC, where on PlayStation she was with the gamepad, and on PC she was on like the Dance Dance Revolution map.
Yeah, I saw that. That was sick.
So, and then I'm thinking, how bad am I actually? Like, she is winning the game by playing on a dance pad.
Yeah.
So the question is also, and I haven't beaten Elden Ring, the last boss. I'm still like, I have 2 bosses left. And it's mostly because I don't have time. And I've seen how the fight looks. And it's incredibly hard. And I'm thinking, do I really want to spend the time that I have in dying to this boss? Because I know I'm not going to one-shot him. So now that's like the fine line of how can we make games accessible, but also still hard enough?
Well, we talk about Elden Ring, so I'm gonna just continue like that. It's basically like you wanna. Let's take for example, you go into a blockbuster when it was relevant, or you open a Netflix and you see a very very good horror movie that's like amazingly well rated, but you are easily scared and you don't like watching horror movies. Should that horror movie be made so you can watch it?
Valid point.
So
okay.
it's simply not a game for you. Or, it's not a movie for you. You ain't gonna watch it. You're gonna say, okay, it's probably amazing. And that for the Elden Ring, when you buy the game, you know it's gonna be hard. You know it ain't gonna be easy. So there's like a little room for you to complain about it. And the community behind the game is so amazing that you can find like several hundreds of helpful topics, not just about the builds, about everything, how to play the game properly. They're gonna tell you what to do, how to play. When you get stuck somewhere, you can always ask someone. For example, you have friends, you can ask, well, I'm stuck here, what do you recommend? And people can tell you, and that's something that Miyazaki even said in his interview. He wants people to talk about the game, how to beat it. He doesn't want it to talk about how the game is beautiful and that he knows that the game is beautiful. He wants to make a conversation between gamers on how to beat it, to discuss different builds, discuss different approaches to the game. As you said, the girl beat it with the Dance Revolution pad, but she can do it like that. I saw a guy playing on a violin and he beaten it. So yeah, there was also this guy that made a really really nice clip. I mean, he's making like a comedy clips about the game. Maybe you heard me saying like when I say hey people, that's taken from his clips. He explained that the games in their core aren't really hard. I mean, there are stuff in life that are hard, the consequences of life. Now, that shit's hard. You need to have a degree, you need to get a paying job. That's hard. Have a stable family. Playing games, that isn't hard. So you can't really complain about that. Just if you're not ready to play the game as the developers mean to play it, like dying 100 times to a boss, then just skip the game. You can always open a YouTube clip. You can always read about the game. You can read about the story, read about the bosses. Look it from someone else's perspective. There's that guy, let me solo her, that's like beating all the bosses in the game without ever getting hit. He's helping people about it. Yeah, that's some crazy thing. I mean, he shows that the game isn't hard. I mean, when you see it how easily he does it. I mean, you can do it. Yes, it will take you like several hundred tries, but you can get to that level. So I mean, that's my take to it. If I don't like something, it doesn't mean that's bad. It's not my part. For example, the Final Fantasy games, they are all amazing games, and I like watch thousands of clips, and I have like hundreds of hours of just watching people play it. I tried it a few times. It just isn't really my cup of tea, and I skipped it. So is it my right to complain that I don't like the game, I don't like this, I don't like that? Should it be catered to me, or just I need to avoid it, and that's it?
No, but that's the take that you gave with the movie is like an amazing take. I haven't thought about it that way because I always look at games because if I'm playing them, I expect everybody to play them. Yeah. But you are right. If a game is not for you, it's not for you. For example, I'm like a huge enjoyer of Age of Empires, like the RTS games.
Yeah.
But I'm just not too good at them. I'm like good enough, but since I'm also very competitive, when I start losing, I just lose the will. And I enjoy watching the matches, and it's really amazing. So I guess you can definitely think about it. It's not a game for me. I do enjoy it. It doesn't have to be easier just because I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
So you're very true. Now tell me, your work, your life, your gaming, how do you balance it?
It's hard, man. It's really, really hard. some things in that aspect have to suffer, and it's really hard. It's getting harder. It's gonna get harder because I'm about to become a dad in the next 15 days. So that's gonna take a huge amount of time. Thanks. So it's gonna take a huge amount of time from gaming, but I think I'll manage it. I mean, it's always been a challenge since high school. You know, you had obligations that weren't so obligated back then. You only had one obligation to learn stuff and be good in school, get good grades to home, and that was. But when I started working, it's kind of went off the balance, and my sleep schedule was hurt the most, and it's still hurting today, but I'm kind of managing it. Luckily, I have a wife that's really understanding about my hobbies. She's considering to playing games the hobby. She doesn't really like playing it. We just recently started playing It Takes Two PC. She likes it, but it's gonna take her some time to just accept it, and she's really understandable about it. But sometimes I even feel sorry about her when I spend the night playing the games, but it doesn't matter which game it was, and she was behind me sleeping all the time and that kind of thing. But at the moment it works. Most of the time, I try to put gaming at the moment is my least priority in life that I have to do. So I have to cater my, well, of course, professional work that is bringing bread on my table, and after that I spend some time with my wife, and if there's something left, there usually is, then I play the games, and it's usually at late night from 9 p.m. till 1 in the morning before I have to hit the sack and just prepare for the next workday. So that's something I just set some priorities in life, and it's easier like that just to follow them.
Sure. So basically, by a schedule.
Yes.
Okay. That sounds great. First of all, congratulations on soon to be dad. Congratulations
Thanks.
Also to the mom, soon to be mom. So, what do you think? Your kid, are you going to, once it's of course a bit grown up, not as a baby, will you invite or introduce gaming to your kid?
Definitely. I mean, it's a huge part of my persona and what I became today. I wouldn't be at this spot if there wasn't the gaming. That's 100% sure. The people that I met, the friendship that I made along the way, the business opportunities that arose throughout my gaming career, that's something that I cherish. The biggest treasure in my life is that. I mean, beside the kid that's coming and my wife,
Of course.
My mom asked me a couple of days ago. She didn't really like me playing the games that I used to play. She was like, if you could go back in time when you first started playing the games, would you change anything? I told her nothing. Even if I knew that the same choices would bring me at the same spot where I am today, with everything that happened in my life, I said I would just follow it exactly as it was. I wouldn't change a thing here. Maybe I would
Nice.
invest in Apple with some with some of the money
True.
that I
Or buy
have, but
Bitcoin.
yeah, Bitcoin, yeah, in 2007 or so. But all other choices no, because my best friend is a guy that I met playing arenas. I met you by playing World of Warcraft. I like
True.
met like half of, I mean, not half, like 90% of my friends today are I met them playing the games. It's not, most of them were through World of Warcraft, some of them through League of Legends, some of them through Elden Ring, and that all. I have like friends throughout Europe that I met like playing games. I had people from Saudi Arabia, I think you remember them, they came
Of
here to
course.
Bosnia. We hanged out for like 2 times in the past 10 years that we met playing the games and raiding together in World of Warcraft. I mean, that's
True.
something that not many people can say they've done so.
True. True. Very true. Very true. No, that's honestly amazing. Now, before we wrap this up, I would like to ask you two things. One is, what sort of advice do you have to our listeners when it comes to balancing gaming and balancing the real life? And the second question is, what message do you have for your kid today on our platform to give for the future?
Okay, first thing for the gamers that are trying to balance the same position that I am, it's just about setting the priorities straight. I mean, it sounds simple, but it really isn't. You need to know where you can make the sacrifices to fit in the game life, and that's about it. So just set priorities straight, and you will always have time for your personal life, for your like spouses and girlfriends. If you don't have them, that's even better. That you can play games more. So just setting the priorities straight, and just remember what's important for you at the moment in your life. That's how I'm doing it, and so far it worked.
Very good
And
advice.
you need to have people around you that are understanding about that understand that what you are doing, it's just really part of your part of what you are. I mean, if you are
Mm-hmm.
like a gamer, like a gamer like me. And what should I say to my little girl? I don't know. I mean, okay, get good. Yeah, that could be a good advice. Just get good, little noob. That would be it.
Get good is definitely an amazing thing to say. And with that, we will wrap it up. To all of our listeners who are struggling at Elden Ring from Software Games, as we just heard, get good. And overall in life, it's time to get good to all the things we do. Be better, strive to be better every day, not just in work, not just in life, but as a person itself.
Yeah.
Dino Salazar, I would like to thank you here for coming today, for sharing your story with us. It was really amazing.
Thanks for having me, man.
Always. To our listeners, thank you very much. I'll see you all on the next episode of the Modern Gamer podcast. See you. Bye.
Bye.